PLP! 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 No other way. Thank you so much. Please be seated. Please be seated. How y'all doing tonight? Trying to wake you all up. How many people work today? How many people proud to still be alive, healthy, and running around? How many people know that God is good? Where's my Fort Charlotte family? Where's Fort Charlotte? Fort Charlotte makes some noise. Where's Team Z, Yamakura? Where's Team Z? Y'all give it up for the stalwart counselors. All stalwart counselors in the room, please stand and be recognized. All stalwart counselors. Y'all give them a round of applause. This is the bedrock of the foundation and the foundation of the party. These are the persons who continue the legacy. And many of us sometimes forget the legacy. Of course, the last 3 years I've been a politician. And so if I don't speak from kind of a script, I may go way over time. Because one of the lessons that you may know is you don't give a politician a mic without a script, or without telling them they got 2 minutes or something like that. Well, they didn't tell me I have 2 minutes, but I'm going to make it as succinct as possible because I know that we are a bit behind time. So I'd like to recognize my colleague and a legendary minister, a member of parliament who served for many years, even at the time when I was a young teacher. He was actually my Minister of Education. Give it up for the Honorable Alfred Sayers, please. I recognize our National Vice Chairman in the House, Ms. Megan Cox. I recognize Ms. Patricia Ann Clare. Oh, I recognize our Deputy Chairman of the party, Brother Obi Roberts, in the building. He's sitting in the back. But that's classic, Obi. He's going to sit with the crowd. And all other persons with various positions in the party, I recognize you. Thank you for being here tonight, and thank you for the opportunity, Minister. So I wanted to touch a bit on our initiatives in the Department of Environmental Health. As you know, I was in education for a very long time, and I ended up back in education at the pleasure of the Prime Minister, who assigned me the task of Minister of State for Education. And so after 22 years of serving as a history and geography teacher, senior master, vice principal, senior education officer, negotiator, labor liaison, all of those positions I held in education, and I thought that when I was done, I was done. I thought that I was out at 22 years. And so I got into politics, and then the Prime Minister said, I need you to go back to education. And so I spent 2 years there, so I can add that, make that 24 years. And now I am, for the last year, I've been in the Department of Environmental Health, a little over a year. And I want to recognize my lovely wife, Candace. She's sitting in the back. And I was just teasing her because, believe it or not, I can say it anyhow, I get in trouble. Believe it or not, this is the first branch meeting that Candace was able to attend with me because, you know, the children are swimming. She do all the children's duties, so I really love and respect her because she is a father and a mother when I'm not there. And so, I don't know how she sneaked out, maybe because one of the kids at Betty Kelly, but I know she only here because she was a teacher also, and this used to be her school. So I spent many days on this campus. I pretended it was education business, but I wanted to look in her face. So I just want to encourage us tonight to get involved in our community. The constituency of Yamakura, your minister has asked me to make sure that the Department of Environmental Health come to Fort Charlotte constituency and help in this big cleanup initiative we have for the constituency. This is a beautification initiative, and he will tell you more about it. But I did not want to come here alone because I know that there's a team beside Team Z, beside what we call Team Z, the men of the Yamakura, who are there to provide the strength and the backing. We've assembled. If you see some of our men here represented tonight, you all wave your hand or stand up, all the men of Yamakura who's here. All right. So these guys move about the constituency. We have a bin drop, a constant bin replacement there for the entire constituency to use, and then we have bin drops through the relative communities. And on a regular basis, we have the sporadic bin drops, well, at sporadic locations. And along with my team, we have included the team from the Department of Environmental Health. So I want you to give a round of applause to the men of the Department of Environmental Health. Please stand, Mr. Merriman and his team. I think some wave or stand in Department of Environmental Health. We had a team of about 6 persons here tonight also, so they're going to be here to answer some questions for you. A lot of people don't know what these persons do. When I went to the ministry, I noticed that they didn't have a real robust PR. So, like, I didn't know much of what the department did. Many other people still don't know. And so we're trying to make sure that their PR beefed up because they work extremely hard. As a matter of fact, I think that this is one of the hardest group of civil servants on the island in the country. And I said, oh, no apologies, because not taken away from any other civil servant in what they do, these gentlemen work way over time, sometimes not even paid for it. Well, I don't even know if they get paid for it anymore. Late in the night, and they are moving debris, they're clearing down bushes where they can, they're doing a pond, they're working with my team, and they are the ones who actually make my team look good because they bring the expertise and the extra muscle. So the Department of Environmental Health have agreed to bring that muscle to Fort Charlotte. And Fort Charlotte, your minister will get that support. So besides removing derelict vehicles, as you learned, over 100 derelict vehicles were removed from the Fort Charlotte constituency so far. But let me tell you, for the year that I was in the Department of Environmental Health, we moved from January to January this year, from January 2024 to December, we would have removed 3,111 derelict vehicles out of neighborhoods in New Providence. This is a very expensive process. There are private contractors that are responsible for getting this done along with the team. But when you move derelict vehicles, as you know, it's not just moving a vehicle that houses sometimes rodents, sometimes crime paraphernalia, I'm going to put it that way, and whatever else. We've even found homeless persons living in derelict vehicles. And so it becomes a danger, an eyesore, something that causes a spike in crime. And we need to remove them from the communities because the longer vehicle is there, as it begins to deteriorate, it's an environmental hazard to the water table because the liquids from the vehicles end up leaking into the ground, and those liquids are not evaporated. They end up finding their way, oils and everything, in the water table. This is very dangerous. So we're asking for the cooperation of persons in saying something if you see something with these derelict vehicle accumulation and this debris drop. It's more than just an eyesore. Trust me, you're risking your future, the health of your children, and the health of yourselves and your families. The population is getting older. We know that a lot of Bahamians aren't having the amount of children they used to have, but Bahamians are living longer. And that means that the population is an older population, the last statistics showed. So we need to do our part to make sure that we live healthy if we're going to live longer. Because the foods we eat, it's just as important that we have the air we breathe and the water we drink as healthy items, supplements or things that you put into your body. And so I'm asking for you to either develop small watches in your area, to see people who are dumping indiscriminately, especially vacant lots, and to see persons who are just leaving vehicles or bringing vehicles in and leaving them on the side of the road, because it's a danger to us all. And so as the department move around with removing vehicles, then the special projects team removes some of the garbage. And you would not believe some of the garbage that are found in these areas where we remove vehicles from. All sorts of garbage. And this in itself causes the same issues, all right, and potential dangers. Now, I had a PowerPoint set up for you, but I think that we're going to abandon that in light of the time. But I want you to know that the cleanup initiative that you're going to hear more about in Fort Charlotte, a number will be provided for you because you do also have bulk waste contractors moving around your constituency. And these bulk waste contractors are responsible for at least twice a week picking up things they see on the side of the road, whether it's appliances or whatever type of bulk waste you may see that's not, well, no waste should be on the side of the road, but they're supposed to help to keep the country clean. But even with that happening, people are still dumping way too much. And I know we're not a nasty people. We are a humble people. We are pleasant. We have a record number of tourists come here and they speak about, yeah, we have beaches and everything else, but they like that our people are so nice and kind. We have to be a reflection of who we are as a people. And so I'm asking that my pitch to you tonight from the department side of environmental health and from our cleanup initiative teams, we want also Fort Charlotte to lend our help to Fort Charlotte to have whatever initiative you have to clean up Fort Charlotte. Your minister is very passionate about it. I want you to jump in and be a part of the solution. And that's the only way we can eradicate the problem. Okay, agreed? Thank you so much. Now on to some other, and I can take questions on this also, but I have some other business to speak about. And it's concerning our party. This is a branch meeting. How many of you proud to be PLP? Listen, I said, and I asked this, and I got asked for a little more energy in that, right? And the reason why I did it the way that I did is because I asked this recently to a group of men. And this group of men were arguing about everything concerning the Miami Dolphins, and some was the Dallas Cowboys, and they could tell you every stat about every team. Every stat about the team that they represent. They know who all the players are. They have all the jerseys on. They have the hats. They have everything, and they walk around and they wear these things proud. Now, the team don't give them no money, you know. The team owners don't know who they are. The players don't know who they are. But they will row and argue, and they even bet money on their team. And they had loyalty from day one, and some of them never faltered. They're telling me from the 60s when they used to be a Miami Dolphin. Well, here we are in our country, right? Here we are in our country, and we have picked a side. And the one thing I'm proud of our democracy is that you are entitled to pick your side. But when you pick your side or something, just as when you pick your team, that same energy and being proud, no matter if your team win or lose, them teams don't go to Super Bowl every year. As a matter of fact, Cowboys ain't been to Super Bowl in but 40, 50 years. But they still repping them. Our team doing work, our team strong. We have very smart people. We have legendary representation. All of the national institutions in this country was built by our team, all of the impactful ones. Our team is providing a better Bahamas, and I want for young people to understand the significance of being proud of their team. And the only way they can understand that significance is that we as adults have to be proud of our team. Our team is the Progressive Liberal Party. And the record is clear. The record is clear. I wasn't there from the beginning, right? There are persons who were ahead of me. My parents knew why they chose. I know why I chose, right? And people at any particular case who decide to change their mind from whatever party, that's their prerogative. But by choosing, you present yourself as a responsible citizen who's contributing to our democracy being strong. And I can tell you, PLPs, you have a lot to be proud of. Your Prime Minister is hailed in this region and around the world as one of the best representatives of a free country in his time. In his time, bar none. And this isn't just today. And I ain't just talking about one thing that you can point to. This is across ministries. I want to highlight some things that you should be proud of. Here's why you should be proud to be PLP. You should be proud to be PLP is because before they were talking about inflation, we've been fighting inflation. The Prime Minister's first initiative was to increase the amount of benefit to those persons receiving retirement benefit and social assistance. That was the first thing. And also, right after that, decrease VAT from 12% to 10% across the board. That was a promise that was delivered on day one. Immediately, we sat down with the unions. And the unions will always, listen, I've been a unionist, listen to me. I've been a National Congress Secretary General. I've been the acting president of the BUT for 2 years. I've been the Secretary General for the Bahamas Educators Managerial Union for many years. I have been a labor liaison officer. I know unions. We go always fight for something because union officers are also elected. So when I first ran as a union officer, I know that the people who elected me wanted some things. And we couldn't get everything we wanted, but we had to continue to fight and agitate. So I expect that unions exercise their right to fight. We have enshrined in the law how it's supposed to happen, and they are part of our Constitution. And unions are the reason why the labor in the country is excelling. All of those maternity and paternity leave and days off and all of those were brought by the union. So unions exist for a purpose. And all of us have probably been a part of unions, so we expect for that to happen. Don't let the opposition that has failed to sit during their 4.5 years with one union and sign an agreement to say we care about your workers or the workers of this country, to tell you that we don't care about unions, and they do. Because they carried us in Parliament as if we forgot. The Department of Labor or the Ministry of Public Service and Labor has signed 55 agreements, labor agreements, with 55 different unions in this country in less than 4 years and 3.5 years. This is very significant. You know what these agreements are? All of them got increases in salary. All of them got extra benefits. As a matter of fact, I think teachers now have dental and vision along with their health insurance. So this is a government of progress. And the story that has to be told is the truth about what we are doing. Because you could bash me all you want. There's something called constructive criticism. You gotta be fair. When you bash me, you gotta tell me what I'm doing right also. Else I could think you just biased and you have an unfair bias toward me that you just wanna bash. And if we allow them to bash us, they are gonna sell their negativity as if nothing is happening. And we know that a lot of things are happening in this country. In that same ministry, 2 weeks ago, was it 2 weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago, over 700 persons who were telling me they were on 52-week program were permanent and pensionable as of 3 weeks ago for the first time, some of them in 20-something years. And that is only that batch. Persons are becoming permanent and pensionable, and guess what? Our goal, this is not the end of the goal. The end of the goal is to have every person working in the public servant who deserve to be full-time and permanent. Every person. Because we will leave no one behind. That is the ultimate goal. In that same ministry, I can tout many other successes, but I will move on because I am also acting, and on many occasions I've acted for the Minister of Public Service, who I think is a stellar representative in this country. She's been doing a stellar job and working around the clock. When they put me as when I'm up there sitting down in public service at these kind of times when the sun is gone and everybody is gone, you have files on files on files, and they're trying to digitize. But you have thousands of files stacked high in the front of you, and trolley is waiting to come in because we have 25,000 public servants. It's not an easy job, and every process deserves tedious work, and you got to pay people too for when you identify that they should have been permanent 10 years ago and they didn't get it. So you not only got to recognize where they started and do all of your detailed investigation, but you got to make sure that the money is there to pay them. So all these people who got permanent, that's people who getting money too. And so don't let them tell you that the PLP ain't doing nothing. We are getting it done. Our record in housing, I only got to say, we didn't talk about union agreements, right? 4.5 years. They got to sit down and negotiate. As a matter of fact, we were locked down because they got to negotiate anything. We could have Zoom negotiate the way they do some things now. They intended not to. But I can tell you that our housing program, they talk about housing now, they complain about that too. The housing program that they had didn't produce, as a matter of fact, they abandoned houses. I heard one of them say that they didn't believe the government should build homes, that private citizens should build homes. Well, that's a theory and that's debatable. But I can tell you this, our government ain't taking that stance. And that's why if we build one home, that was 100% more homes than they built. That's our key bill put up. And we built hundreds of homes. The other day, we put keys in the hands of young and old Bahamians who've been waiting decades to get a home in this country. And we have more to come. We are identifying areas to build. When we move derelict vehicles and clear down bushes, we are acquiring some of those properties and we're building government structures on them for use of Bahamians. It ain't gonna take a turnaround in 3 years, we know, but we'll work every day until the job is done. And that's why I'm proud to be PLP. So we talk about, and I really don't want to take the minister's time. I know you have to come, minister, bear with me. We speak about thank you. We've spoken about the housing department. And housing and transport used to be together. I want to give it up for the Minister of Housing and Transport, the former minister, and also now the Minister of Housing and Urban Renewal. Urban renewal was dead under the former government, okay? No matter what they tell you, and let me just go back just a little bit. I remember that people's time, right? And I understood why some people even betrayed our people for the people's time. The message was perfect. They say, oh, you all having all, and his friends and family, and we ain't having none. And for years, we get nothing, and you always getting everything. Now it's time for the people's time. And that's what they carried around the country. And so no matter what the government did, as much as I remember Christie's opening, former Prime Minister Christie, opening the University of the Bahamas, doing all of these initiatives. And the economy was doing well, robust. And when they come with the people time, people get sold a dream that, hey, it could be better for me. Because whatever happened in my life, the government is responsible for. And people believed in the people's time. And they said they could take VAT off everything. There should be no VAT. This government put this on you and they're doing whatever the VAT money. And then guess what? The first budget out the gate raised VAT by 60%. So don't let them tell you who they are. You have the record of who they are. You ain't believe they could come with a good slogan again? They will be right back with a good slogan and make you believe that they could do more. Number one, they couldn't even stick together. You think they just started infighting? There was infighting from before they came in and during the whole time they came in. They couldn't have one session without the House Speaker and the Prime Minister fighting. You all remember that? This ain't a decade ago. This just the other day. And they sit there and act brand new. Well, they ain't brand new. I can remind them every time they get in Parliament what they said they represented and what they actually did. Because they're trying to pull the whole show again. And speaking of show and acting, you all remember throwing the mace out the house, right? That was ridiculous. But anyhow, I ain't going down that road. I just want to tell you that our lifting the moratorium of taxi place, this is a small man more, right? There's a moratorium for decades on who could get a taxi. And also people were renting from taxi plate owners. And some of those owners, the people who originally owned them, were dead and gone a long time. And the plates were handed down through generations. And for the first time, persons who were driving for decades for somebody were able to get taxi plates in this country. And now we have a robust taxi system with record tourism in our country to this day, higher than ever before. Along with record tourism, record unemployment level. Everybody who wants a job, get a job. It might be something that you want to do immediately. Everybody can't work for government. We understand that. But we know that if you want something to do, tell these young men, don't carry that burden and put that on themselves. God don't like ungrateful people. And if it's in all things, give thanks. That ain't only when you're in church. Because there are some things that may be challenging for you. But you can see the work, and we're willing to listen and help you. We're going to listen and help you. So we have persons who have taxi plates. We have hospitals and schools being built, none under the last administration. And today I can tell you that the Grand Bahama Hospital is on the ground, and they're also trying to fight the new hospital around the corner, but they will not win because Dr. Davel has repaired every clinic on all of the family islands, and we're building a brand new state-of-the-art hospital. So just a short reminder, and I ain't going down half. School repair buildings. Now I work in the school system, and like I told Minister Anna Martin, I've never seen this level of attention paid to schools before. Teachers don't cry at the rate they do and about no conditions of school. Remember, they couldn't have schools. Some of these schools were so moldy, they were dark, the buildings weren't touched, there were hollowed walls where rats live and die in the walls. I remember, I used to be senior master at Government High, and when a rat died in my wall, I couldn't occupy the office for at least 2 months, because there ain't no small rats. When our administration came in, look at Government High now. You could think, you would spell the difference, but they're building a pool now. We've been in pool in schools and focusing on teaching our children how to swim. And the pool building here too. So y'all give a round of applause. Your government, be proud to be a PLP. When we put up this symbol, I'm big and proud because you have something to be proud of. There's a lot of backing on things that have happened in our country under the Progressive Liberal Party. So Branch, I'm going to tell you, please, for Charlotte, be proud, because this is where we need the soldiers on the battle. This is not going to be an easy time. Misinformation is through these same devices, and they get at people full time. We don't own any of the national papers, and we don't sponsor any of the national papers. But I can tell you, there was something about, let me give you an example of how I know we don't have the level of support we need through these items. This is why you got to tell your own story. Because if you depend on media to tell your story, all media ain't playing fair. They ain't playing fair. I saw the front page of a paper. The story was about housing, and I went back and I looked at persons getting keys and stuff back in the day in the government home. That was a big story. It's a big story. Your person getting keys for the first time. They made it front page, but they put it under. As the second story, under, guess what the headline was? What the former Minister of Tourism had to say, but ain't enough hotel rooms. He even said ain't enough hotel rooms. He said tourism, overnight tourism is at a standstill. That was the headline. What the former Minister of Tourism had to say. When is that ever a headline in a country? This is what we are dealing with, and this is why I'm telling you, please try to control the narrative, because if you let the narrative be controlled by them, they will tell the story they want to tell. And they ain't gonna make it the biggest story. So for me, the biggest story is about our strong economy. The IMF has boasted that our Prime Minister, as Minister of Finance, has brought this country back to a remarkable economic level. Their word, remarkable. Remarkable. So on top of fixing these and paying attention to family islands, all the development going there, and I want to talk about Grand Bahama. Say I lived for 15 years in Grand Bahama. And sometimes I tell Marco City, be careful about Grand Bahama because I know you in Grand Bahama and I know Marco City. And he knows that I know. And he's trying to run from there anyhow. But I can tell you that Grand Bahama, now all isn't roses, and we know it. But Grand Bahama have a cruise port, multi-million-dollar cruise port, a few $100 million cruise port that's soon to be finished, that they know what it will attract to the islands. Grand Bahama has many businesses open that I didn't see for a very long time. There are many people who are reaping the benefits of a work. And the minister of Grand Bahama, Ms. Ginger Moxie, the 2 representatives they got in Grand Bahama are better than the 5 they had there before. Because they had 5 ministers. One was a deputy prime minister and minister of finance. They had every opportunity. And for them to come and sell that we ain't doing enough for Grand Bahama is foolishness. The PLP have done more with 2 members of parliament than they have done with 5. So I can talk about Sports in Paradise, that we brought that back. Because you remember the games and everything, the world relays have moved. I can tell you about things that are being done in the urban renewal with the small home repairs. And I explain how we're now having the bands come back and how they kill urban renewal. I can talk about all of these things, but what I want you to do is to remember that our party, it will be the one responsible for many more developments, for many more successes in this country. People are talking about their BPL bills. For decades, BPL was a problem. No one had the nerve to touch BPL the way that we are doing. We are reshaping BPL for renewable energy and causing light bills to come down. That is the ultimate goal. And at the beginning, a lot of people say, I see my light bill come down yet, but now it's down. And it's going to continue to come down. We have to do our measure. We have to tell our story, but we also have to participate in making our country better. This is the only country we got. And right now, the PLP is the best thing for our country. We are not going to go back. We can't go back. Because it's going to be stop, review, and cancel. You see, they complaining about people we hire. They say, who's complaining about hiring people? Oh, they're hiring consultants. They're hiring people in public service. They're hiring this. Be giving people jobs. So that I could tell you their intention when they come, they go fire some people. These are your brothers, your sisters, your aunts, uncles, cousins, and these are persons who have responsibility and families that you are close to. And it may be some of you. You think they're going to let you keep what you got? Their intention is, and they're telling you who they are. So that's why you got to keep them out and let them stay out. So, ladies and gentlemen, I could talk all night about our successes. We have a lot of work to do. We have passed a record number of bills in the House. And in the middle of passing bills in the House, every member of Parliament have been doing initiatives for their young children and their older people in the community alike. So you have MPs that are working overtime within their ministries or departments or wherever they are and within their community. We have a lot to do. We're going to go door to door. The most complaints I hear is that we need to see them. Guess what? I can make sure the people see me. I will be door to door. I continue walking every year and make sure that we satisfy that complaint. I'm not too big to say, oh, they just complaining. They complain, that's what we've been doing. When you complain about something, we fix it. And our intention is to fix it and get it done. And we'll continue doing that. So I want you to focus on not only what's going on in Parliament and like and share each other's posts, like and share what's going on in Fort Charlotte, like and share your PLP initiatives because we're going to ramp it up. We need you to participate in your own party. Participate in the good Bahamas. God has blessed us with a beautiful country. And if you put in your mindset that you're doing bad, it's like beating a child all the time and telling them that they bad. Eventually that child could be bad. So tell yourself that things going to be good because God got your back. And the PLP is favored by God. I don't care what you all think. The PLP favored by God because we are the ones in charge of the country at this time. And we could not be here if God did not ordain it so. It go hand in hand. And when he is ready for us to move, God will move. So don't let anyone mix up stories. and give you false narratives and tell you don't be proud of this party that is working for you. The last thing I have to say as I close, branch elections are coming up. I see Brother Obi Roberts is here, so he can speak more on this. Now, the Prime Minister's message is for us as a party to stay together because, you know, we are our worst enemies, right? We don't need to share their negativity. Don't press share. When you do, don't press like, forward, or share the negativity. Share the positive stuff, share your party stuff. Do not get into cannibalism and sabotage your own people. If you eat each other alive, you're going to fail and we will all fail. We will all fail. Listen here, Ms. Melanie Griffin would not be mad as I am the MP that succeeded her in the party. She will not be mad if I say this. She always reminds me that the worst day under a PLP government is better than the best day under an F&M government in opposition. Do not launch yourself into opposition over any petty fighting. If you win the branch election or if you run him, there's something that you can do in campaigning and just talking about what you could do, you know. We have done enough to say what we have done. We ain't got to lie and tell no story. And we ain't got to lie with the F&M. All we have to do is tell the truth about them. Let them lie on us, but we cannot lie on each other. Let us have clean and fair elections. As these branch elections begin to heat up and you're putting out your paraphernalia, do not attack your colleague. Remember who the real enemy is. The minute you lose focus on who the real enemy is, the enemy will creep up from behind like a roaring lion and snatch your victory. And then you'll be sitting there wondering what happened. Well, what happened is you have invested in their victory. I invested in their victory. I am vested in the Progressive Liberal Party because the PLP is still the government, the best government for the Commonwealth of the Bahamas on record. And with that, I hope you become excited about what's going on with your community because you're going to see some movement in your community. Yamakura will be there. I hope that you'll be excited about what's going on with your party because we have done enough and we'll be doing more to show that we are still working for the people of this country. Be excited about your party because you have a history to show that your representatives have done more for this country than any other party. You have the weapons to fight with. Take it, hold your brother side by side, and let's go for 2 straight. Keep your eyes fixed on 2026. PLP! PLP! PLP!